Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
So my necklace is the Lebanese map that my mom came with it from Lebanon. And then the cross, you know. And actually I bought it in Ramallah. So it's very eclectic. It's very cool. I wish this was like, you know, the Middle East that we all dream of. Like you can just jump here to buy something, jump there to buy. So yeah, this is like my identities. And I think I need some Israeli representative here.
Hey, I'm Ishi Harman, and this is Israel Story. As you know, we're in the midst of our Wartime Diaries series, which is an attempt to collect slivers of life during these seemingly endless and difficult days. Though the escalating tension on Israel's northern border has been part of the war from the very start, our collective attention was, for months, focused on Gaza. Recently, however, that has begun to shift, and speculations about what Hezbollah is planning to do have taken center stage. The tragic deaths of 12 kids in Majd al-Shams 10 days ago, followed by the retaliatory assassination of Fuad Shukr, one of Hezbollah's chief military leaders, only raise the already high levels of anxiety and uncertainty. Does Nasrallah want an all-out war? Are we about to be bombarded by thousands of rockets raining down from Lebanon? And when will the 60+ thousand evacuated residents of the north finally be able to return home? Everyone seems to have an opinion on these matters. But with all the experts and pundits out there, the truth is that no one knows Hezbollah as well as the members of a small and often forgotten community living in Israel. These are the former fighters of Tzadal, or the SLA, the South Lebanon Army, a primarily Christian militia that for years fought alongside Israel against the PLO and Hezbollah. When Israel withdrew its forces from South Lebanon in 2000, many SLA members fled their home country, where they were largely considered to be traitors and collaborators, and relocated to Israel. While some later returned to Lebanon and others moved to third countries, roughly 3,000 to 4,000 former SLA militiamen and their family members live in Israel today and have been granted Israeli citizenship. But in the countless rounds of violence on the Northern Front in the last 24 years, the SLA community has found itself in an impossible position. Their adoptive country, Israel, is at war with their sworn enemy, Hezbollah, but is also, as a byproduct, bombing their hometowns and villages in southern Lebanon, where many of their friends and family members still reside. Welcome to the Middle East. As always, it's complicated. Our producers Yael Ben-Chorin and Mitch Ginsburg spoke to Maryam Younnes, whose father was an SLA commander who moved to Israel back in May 2000. Here she is.
So I'm Maryam. I'm 28 years old. I'm a student at Bar Ilan University, and I am part of the SLA community, the Southern Lebanese Army community here in Israel. In Hebrew, it's Tzadal. I was born in southern Lebanon in a little Christian village called Debel. I think it's 25 minutes from the border. It's beautiful, really tiny village, green, very clean. The main occupation is tobacco growing. My uncles do all kind of, like land working. And my dad was a commander in the Southern Lebanese Army, which is the last official army, let's say, that fought Hezbollah before Israel withdrew from Southern Lebanon in 2000, and we had to leave Lebanon because we were given two options by Hezbollah, or to stay and be killed, pay the price, as they said, or to leave Lebanon and never come back. So we left Lebanon. I was 5 years old. I still remember that night. My dad called my mom, and he was like, take the girls and go to the border. Then I don't remember really, like, passing from Lebanon to Israel, but I remember arriving to Israel, and I remember being in a hotel in Tiberia, and I saw the Kinneret. I still remember, actually. This is like the first view of Israel that I remember as a 5 years old. And then we were in hotels, yes, and kibbutzes here in Israel. As a community, obviously, we had in Shlomi. My family was in Shlomi, others in Tiberia. And we wanted to live in Christian villages, obviously, because it was just similar to our home. But they didn't accept us because we were traitors. So we were traitors because we fought against the Palestinians, the PLO. This is the narrative of Hezbollah, like, you are traitors, you fought against your country with the occupation, with the Israelis. We want to distinguish ourselves, by the way. It totally makes sense. We are Lebanese, we speak Arabic, but we're not Arabs. We were conquered by the Arabs. The Arabic was forced on us. We as Lebanese, we believe that we are Phoenicians. Some believe that we are Arameans. So we were traitors. So in Israel, we were forced kind of to live in, Jewish Israeli towns. I grew up in Maalot, and I went to school there, like, public school. Growing up, speaking Hebrew at school and Arabic at home, celebrating Passover and Hanukkah at school, and Christmas and Easter at home. And obviously bringing food, and I always like to say that I taught my Israeli friends what Lebanese food is, and that it's the best cuisine in the world, in my opinion. From 2004, we are officially Israeli citizenship. So I really grow up, understanding both points of view, and I always saw myself as a bridge. I'm able to catch the nuances on both sides, and it's very, it's a struggle to understand both points of view in both worlds, and just to see how the communication is just like lost in translation.
So Maryam, can you tell us about your October 7th?
It was just, I couldn't believe what I'm seeing, just like anyone. I have friends there. I have friends in the army that were, they were called to the army. I thought that what is going on? But on the other hand, I knew what to expect in a way, because we know what these terrorists are. We know what they are doing. We knew, like the moment I heard that they are inside, I knew that it's just gonna be the most horrendous, killing spree. This is just like what happened in Lebanon, during the 60s and 70s and 80s. Like, we faced the same things. And the next day, Hezbollah started firing on Israel. So at this point, I was like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, okay, this is like official war. And it made me even angrier that a terrorist group that hijacked my country is deciding the destiny of my people. And even the Lebanese government, for the first time, it was very publicly saying, we don't want war. This is not our war. Lebanon can't handle a war right now. Although for me personally, I was like, I hope that something will happen, so maybe Israel can finally take off Hezbollah. But on the other side, I say, I know that many of the Southern Lebanese people don't want war. They can't afford war. Mm-hmm. I do feel that Israelis kind of, unlike with the Palestinians, I feel like Israelis do understand that Hezbollah is an entity in Lebanon that doesn't necessarily represent the Lebanese people. I feel that in Israel, it's kind of clear. But I think that Israelis are very uneducated about the Arab world in general. Now that I'm grown up and I meet a lot of people from Arab countries, I understand how even I, as a person that speaks Arabic and consume Arabic media, how much things I don't know, I'm not aware of, I'm not taught, or if I'm taught totally wrong. And one of them is the fact that all Arabs hate Israel, all Arabs want to kill the Jews. And then you go around, you meet people, you're like, okay, not everyone want to do it. You can get to a common ground.
I know that since the beginning of the war, you've been creating a lot of content in Arabic in social media, explaining the situation. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So I'm still doing it. I have my TikTok, which is doing great. What I do is just I post short videos, cultural videos, religious videos about my life here as a minority, as a Christian, as Israeli, as Lebanese, just showing, I think, the Arab world how I live here, like very authentically.
What kind of reactions have you been getting?
Most of my comments are super negative, obviously, like a traitor, you're not Lebanese, we don't claim you, free Palestine, whatever, I knew that it's gonna be the comments. But the surprising part are the people who write me privately saying, oh my God, I didn't know that this is going on in Israel. My dream is to visit Jerusalem. I wish we had peace. It looks really nice in Israel. It's similar to this place in Lebanon. So there are a lot of comments that just surprise me over and over again, because it shows that to some people, they get the message. So, yes.
I guess the war has been more focused in the north. So maybe if you could tell us more about your own personal feeling about how that's been and how that's been for your family.
I'm doing back and forth. So I do spend the weekends up north. It's not really easy, we're not evacuated, but we are feeling the war very on a daily basis. Because we hear the missiles, we hear Israel's shooting toward Lebanon as well from Maalot and nearby. It's very hard to handle it, just knowing that part of my community and also other people are going through this. And obviously I pray every night to not go through this, because I don't want to evacuate my home. I don't want my family to evacuate. I don't want to leave my city. And we don't really know what's going to happen on the other side. So there is a constant worry about our family and about our people there, what's going to happen, how it's going to, how things will turn out. It's just very hard. Very hard. The fact that I have relatives on the other side is just, it's life. I have my family there. This is my story. This is what I have to go through every war. I think the parents' generation is very, they lived in a war. They grew up in a war. This is what they knew most of their lives. At least till we came to Israel, and even here, we lived another wars over and over again. They think that obviously Hezbollah should be eliminated. But, they already lived through the disappointment from Israel in a way, so they don't believe it will happen. But for us, we are full of hope. And some people also, from my generation or younger than me, they don't care about Lebanon. My sister, she doesn't care about Lebanon. She was born here. She's super Israeli. She's like, I don't care about Lebanon. It's Hezbollah over there. She doesn't know anything about the complexity of Lebanon and what does it mean to be Lebanese. So there is this as well. So you can see already 3 different point of views within this tiny community here. I always try to even talk to people in my age that already have kids and they speak only Hebrew to their kids. I'm like, no, why? You need to teach them Arabic as well. You need to teach them about Lebanon. And they're like, no, but I don't care. I live in Israel now. I'm Israeli. Yes, but you are also Lebanese, So I don't know. For me, it's very important for me. And I do believe that being Israeli doesn't eliminate my Lebanese identity, and being Lebanese doesn't eliminate my Israeli identities. And it's just normal to mix them. But I do understand that it's very conflicted to many, especially because of our story and our parents' story and what they passed on to us. So it's not easy. It's not easy.
So how do you see the future?
I look at it and I'm like, this is my place. I'm a Middle Eastern. I'm a Lebanese. I'm an Israeli. This is my place. I don't want to leave. And I don't want to leave because of radicalism. I don't want to leave because of terror. I don't want them to terrorize me. I don't want them to use these terror techniques thinking, oh, they will leave. No. After 7th of October, I think that I want to stay more than leave. So yeah, I'm staying here.
איך הייתי מבולבלת, עם הלב החשוף רצתי בחוץ, על ספסל מול הכנרת, התפללתי לא למות, להבות ביער שאהבתי, שורפות אל מול עיניי כל היגיון, בחטף בלי שהרגשתי, הושיבו לי בשבט הצפון. העולם מתהפך, טוב ברע מתחלף, והזמן נעצר במקום, ובחדר החור בין בכי לצחוק אני שוב מגלה שגם לי ולך יש המנון. מלחמה גם אם צודקת טורפת את הכל בלי הבחנה, הניצחון והתפארת משאירים לי על הלחי רק דמעה, להבות ביער שאהבתי שורפות אל מול עיניי כל היגיון, בחטף בלי שהרגשתי, הושיבו לי בשבט הצפון. העולם מתהפך, טוב ברע מתחלף, והזמן נעצר במקום, ובחדר החור בין בכי לצחוק אני שוב מגלה שגם לי ולך יש המנון. ובחדר החור בין בכי לצחוק אני שוב מגלה שגם לי ולך יש המנון.
With a Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For zero enrollment and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join today for zero enrollment and $24.99 a month. See Home Club for details.